Okay, so tonight I'm going to be presenting Triple M and what Triple M is about and how they came about and what the opportunity is in Triple M. I'm sure you'll see after a while why I joined Triple M. You know, I wish I knew about it 5 years ago, to be honest with you. Even if I knew about it 5 months earlier, it would have been fantastic, but it's a truly incredible opportunity. And to be honest, I received lots of invites where people said to me, check it out, and it just looked like shit to me, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have received tons of emails about it, and you just ignore it. Because when you go on the website, what do you see? Make money and so forth, and that's what you see all the time. You know, join this forex trading, make money here, make money there, and it's never really as easy as they actually make it out to be. You know, the previous businesses I was involved in as well, they also said, you know, it's really easy to make money. It's not really as easy as they make it out to be. Okay. So my name is Byron Dittberner. I've been in Triple M since the 19th of September. Okay? How long is that then? Long time, right? Okay. But I'm going to show you some things now why I'm really excited about Triple M and very excited to share this opportunity with you guys. How I didn't know about it earlier, God alone knows. With as many members as they have in Triple M, around the world, 138 million members currently, and in fact last week alone, I don't know how many of you are familiar with this, last week alone they had a number of issues with the website where people were struggling to get onto the website. The reason for that is because they had 250,000 members join last week, so they were under a little bit of pressure. Okay, 250,000 members in one single week, which is insane. In fact, Tuesday was 100,000 alone. That's crazy. Okay. Triple M is already in 107 different countries. Okay, so they're strong and growing fast every single day. They're the largest donation exchange network in the world. Now I'm going to get to explain to you guys just now what exactly they mean by donation exchange. The simplest way to try and understand it is kind of like a stokvel. Some of us know what a stokvel is, some of us don't really know, but I'll explain to you guys what a stokvel basically is. Okay? A stokvel is a group of you who are friends at work. Each of you at the end of the month when you get paid, you take 1,000 rand each, you put it into a box and one person takes the box. Make sense? And then it goes around, each person each month gets a chance to take the money, and then come month end, where will come your turn, you get all the money. So in essence, you're putting in 1,000 rand every month, when it gets to your turn, you get all your money back. So it's a perceived savings. Does it make sense? But very successful. A lot of people use it. There is even food stokvels these days, where people put in money throughout the entire course of the year, and then come the end of the month, you'll find the truck will arrive in whatever location, and there's just tons of people there collecting these insane food parcels. That's how stokvel works. Okay? In our situation, it's a donation exchange network, which means we have members that are donating money to each other. Okay? Sounds confusing, but I'll explain to you how that works. All right. In 1994, Triple M held 1/3 of the entire cash reserve for Triple M in Russia. Now just imagine one organization held all of the money for the entire of Russia in one organization. True story. There's actually a movie about it, where you can actually watch the whole movie, and towards the end of the movie, you actually get to see why certain things occurred. There was a time when Triple M first started that they were closed down. In that same stage when they were holding so much of the cash reserve, they were actually closed down. Because think about it, you've got an organization that is so powerful, so strong. The government came in, I mean, let me reverse it a little bit. How's this for insane, right? They never had time to count money. They used to store it in rooms. Anybody who's seen the movie or gone through the documentary, they literally used to throw it into rooms like rubbish, and they never had time. They used to weigh the money, and that's how they used to count it. They got closed down, the government came in, seized all the money, put Sergio MAVRODI in jail. And anyway, eventually, when he came out of jail, he decided to start Triple M again. And for the second time it collapsed, and then they got clever. Because the second time they started, everybody used to pay their money into one central account, much like today's collective investment schemes. And then what the government did is they changed the rules. They said you need to have a license to run this type of industry. So what did they do? Closed them down again. Then in 2011, after a lot of rethink, they decided to start Triple M again in 2011. This is 4 years ago, guys. This is not even like 10 years ago. We're talking 4 years ago, and it's 138 million members. 4 years ago, they decided, all right, what we want to do, the goal and the purpose of Triple M, is to provide financial freedom and to take people out of the financial rut that they're in, which I'll explain to you just now, and give people true financial freedom. Okay? So how they did that was by connecting the members directly to each other, which made us untouchable. Let me explain. If I came to you now and I said to you, right, there's $100 from me to you, have I done anything illegal? No. And that's why they can't touch us. Because we are a voluntary donation exchange network that is passing money from one person to the next person. Does that make sense? In fact, I was on the phone with Vanna today, and he told me a very interesting story, right? Vanna's my upline. No, he was my upline. Well, you still are, but like upline, right? Okay, so Vanna told me a very interesting story. A lady he knows went to SARS, and she doesn't know how to declare her money. Because for that year, she received about 160,000 Rand. So she went to SARS, asked the lady, look, this is what I earn for my pension and whatever, but my money I receive from Triple M, what do? How do I declare it? Is it income? No. It's a donation. Now we know if we donate money to an organization, it's tax deductible, but if I receive donations, then what? Is it income? Because they say the money you receive is what? For services rendered? Not really. Does that make sense? So what the lady did at SARS is she said, well, there's no way for you to really do it, so sign me up too. That's really cool, right? That's cool. It was recently reported, true story, go and Google it, you'll find this out yourself. It was recently reported that Triple M is solely responsible for the drive of the Bitcoin price. We are literally driving a currency up, one organization on its own. That is when you know you have powers, when you can affect an entire currency. We're a community built on people helping people to become free. Make sense? Cool. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the ideology of Triple M. So what is it really about? Okay? We have banks all over the world, and we know how the systems of the banks work. We know that if I take 100,000 Rand and I invest it in a bank, I'm going to get 6%, 7%, sometimes 9%, depending on your record with the bank. And they'll pay you that interest over a year, am I right? 100%. What you don't know is the bank takes your cash and everybody else's cash, and what do? They build a shopping center. And the bank makes how much money from that shopping center? Think about it. I'm not trying to give you a pitch here, but think about it. I mean, how much money does a bank make when they build a shopping center with our money? They make millions. Then, you're happy because you're making interest on your money, right? 100%. But we never considered, where's my share in the shopping center because it's my money in the shopping center. So if you listen to a lot of the guys who started and the guys who control Triple M, if you listen to a lot of the things that they say, you'll hear one thing that keeps coming up all the time, is how money controls how we feel, how we behave, how we talk to other people, wars that are created over money, we steal from each other, murder each other, we do all kinds of crazy things, right? If you think about it, right, at some point, someone made a decision and managed to convince us that these two notes have a completely different value, but they're made from the same thing. Did you ever think about that? So these guys are kind of like conspiracy theorists, right? They are convinced there's a financial apocalypse coming, it's the end of days, and we better be prepared. You have people like that, like you get my mom. My mom's a tree hugger, right? She loves anything to do with healthy food and stuff like that. I just love burgers, I want to die happy. Yeah. Anyway, what their plan is to provide financial freedom outside of the current economical structure. The things that keep us tied, working ourselves to death every single day. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Okay, so let's explain the basics. We've got people that are providing help, alright, making a donation, and people that are getting help, people that are withdrawing. Does that make sense? So when you voluntarily donate or provide help, let's assume for 1,000 Rand to another member, you are awarded with the equivalent amount in MAVRODs. MAVRODs is our internal currency or point system. Okay? Because the first question somebody asks me every time I tell them, like, hey, did you hear about Triple M? They say, but how's it possible that it can grow so much? It's not the money that's growing, it's your points that's growing. Does that make sense? So I go now and I make a donation to somebody, like you've all done. You've thrown money in the jars at the till. You've helped friends and family with money, but you get nothing in return. And sometimes people will stand and beg for money. Hey, you know what, please can I have some money? And you go, no. You tell the car guard, no, I'm sorry. Imagine if you got something in return from that. What do? You make an offer to provide help to somebody selflessly that you don't know, and trust me, you'll never know the person that you donated money to. You're getting an equivalent amount of MAVRODIs in return, and those MAVRODIs grow at a cumulative value of 30% every single month, compounded on each other. Okay, that's where it gets interesting. The person who you are donating to is also the person that is requesting help. So in other words, let me explain it to you simply. I say, for example, I make a pledge to donate 1,000 rand. The system will send me someone's details, let's say yourself, you are requesting 1,000 rand. Make sense? Okay, so it sends me her details, I pay it over to her, I get my 1,000 MAVRODIs points, and then my points start to grow at 30%. What I found incredible in my experience in Triple M is that people are in such a hurry to pay, it's almost like they panic, they can't wait to get rid of the money. Some of you guys who are privileged enough to see the chat groups, they ask questions like, when am I going to pay? Why is it taking so long? I was like that. I did my first pitch with 1,000 rand. I eventually cancelled the thing. I jumped it to 4,000 bucks because I wanted to pay. I even converted my first DH from rands into MAVROD because I just couldn't wait anymore. I was getting frustrated because it takes 5 weeks on average for you to even just make your payment. But here's the good news. If you decide to make a pledge today to say, yes, I'm going to start with 100 bucks, 500 bucks, 2,000 bucks, 100,000 rand, whatever, your money starts to grow, your MAVRODs start to grow from the very day you make the pledge to help. And only in 4 to 5 weeks from today, maybe even 6 weeks, that's when you will actually do the payment. By the time you do the payment, you're already in profit. Okay, then here's where it gets exciting. I now made an offer to provide help. She's requested help. As soon as she receives the money, the system will send her a ticket and say, do a video. She takes her phone like a selfie and she says, my name is so-and-so, I'm from such and such a town, you guys must have seen these videos. I asked for help on this day and I received my money, thank you very much, Triple M. For that, she gets a 5% bonus of the amount she withdrew back in her MAVRODs. And guess what? It grows at 5% every single month, just for her withdrawal. So I withdrew, and I'm going to show you guys just now. I was also one of those people, new like yourself, nervous, don't really understand, it's quite weird and esoteric. But when I started, I put 4,000 rand in, I waited a month, and I withdrew 2,000 rand. I made my video, and I'll show you I got my 100 rand bonus because I withdrew 2,000 bucks. So now I can't wait to draw 100 grand like some people I know. Right. Eh? Yeah. Anyway, right, let's move on, okay? Okay, so let me explain it to you a little bit further now. Right? Referral bonus. Okay? So again, you provide help. Okay? This person wants to get help. This is the referrer. Make sense? Okay. So in other words, when I make an offer to provide help, let's say for example Vanna is my referrer. He's the guy who signed me up, got me involved in Triple M. I make an offer to provide help. I get a request from this lady here. What is your name? Sorry? Buntle. Right, I get a request from Buntle to pay Buntle. As soon as I make the payment to Buntle, 10% of whatever I pay to Buntle is now available to Vanna. And it also grows at 30% every month. Now I'm sure, if any of you knew, if you're earning 30% every single month, even on a small amount as much as little as 1,000 rand, over a year, the cumulative value is way over 10,000 rand. Make sense? And you're getting 10% of that. Would you share that with somebody? Of course you would. There's managers' bonuses too. So what is a manager? Now a manager in the conventional system, you'll think is the manager, I'm the guy who recruited you. No, that's not a manager. A manager is just somebody who's gone to school, sort of, online. He's studied, he's done his tests, he's become a manager. So one of the things I did when I joined is I got to understand how this Triple M thing works, as confusing as it was. And then I asked my manager, listen, please, you got to put me on a manager's course because I hear the bonuses are crazy. He explained it to me how it works. and I went and I stopped everything I was doing, and I put everything into that 10-day program. 1 hour a night for 10 days, you go qualify as a manager. It's a free course, you don't pay anything for it. You just got to be online, that's all. Okay. Oh yes, and pass. Okay. How does it work? For up to 10 levels below you, it's actually infinite levels, right? There's not really 10 levels, it's infinite levels deep. The first level...
10 generations.
No, it's infinite 10.
No,
yeah, this one is 10. Yeah, this one is 10, 100%. Yes, your first level, 5% of every single PH you'll earn. Every single donation that's made on your first level, you'll earn 5% of that. It's paid to you into your account as MAVRODs. Those MAVRODs you can convert into cash for the equal amount. All the accumulative MAVRODs, when you look at your entries on your account, which I'm going to show you on mine, each transaction shows one at a time the amount of MAVRODs. And then every Tuesday and every Thursday you see your MAVRODs go higher and higher and higher and higher every single Thursday. Isn't that exciting? Imagine logging on Thursday, you make money. Right, on your second level, 3%, 1%, 0.5, 0.3, 0.0, 0.1, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay, 10 generations deep, infinite levels deep on 0.01% of every single donation that occurs. Well, we must make it very clear. You are not earning interest on cash. Okay? You're earning interest on MAVRODs, which are points. Which brings us to another question. How do you earn interest? Well, think about it like this, guys. It is a fixed rate that is attached to it. We're not investing in property. We're not investing in bonds or stocks or trading on the stock market. There is no logical reason why something can't grow at 30%. It's a fixed value that is attached to your MAVROD points that has a fixed growth at 30% every single month. Okay? Cool stuff. Right, let's move on. Alright, so security. People ask me, so how long is it going to last, Byron? So I don't know, to be honest. It's not a fair, but what I do know is when I went through my manager's program, I learned about the security in M and the security features that the program has. Some would say that security is just overboard. Honestly, you make one mistake on your account, they close your account. It's game over. You don't want to make mistakes. You make sure that whoever brought you here tonight properly educates you on how things work. You don't just go change stuff. It doesn't work like that. Okay, let's talk about pause mode. Pause mode is there to protect the entire community. Okay. If we could imagine this green bar, which we call provide help, this green bar would show the net value of all the PHs together. So my offer to provide help is 1,000 Rand. Your offer to provide help is maybe 5,000 Rand, 10,000 Rand, 20,000. So the net value of the total provide help. Okay? This value here shows the net value of the people that are requesting help. Okay? So what the system automatically does is it measures the total volume of get help versus the total volume of received help. Does that make sense? As soon as this two volumes start to get close to each other, what it does is it pauses the get help queue. So it puts a stop on it temporarily, holds the queue, allows this queue to fill up even more, and once it's in a safe zone, it releases them and starts doing the payments. Does that make sense? Next question is, some people say to me, so Byron, how do I know I'm going to get paid? Well, that's a very good question. I'll tell you why. This is what your ticket looks like. The day you're sitting there anxiously waiting to get paid and can't wait to get rid of your money, this is what will appear on your back office. So you log in, you're going to get an email or SMS, and more than likely your manager is going to call you to assist you through the process. You're going to get this thing that's going to appear with a timer on it. This timer, currently this was taken today off my back office, says 71 hours. So what the 71 hours means, it means that the person, this person here, offered to provide help to this person who has been allocated to them, has 71 hours to complete this transaction or they will close their account and ban them from AAA. Okay, now why? You think to yourself, good Lord, 71 hours and I'm kicked out of the AAA network. Yes, of course. Because the day when somebody needs help, they need to rely on the fact that that person will actually give their help. Does that make sense? 100%. And because of these strict rules, it makes our system work so incredibly well. What happens when this timer reaches 0? And believe me, it does happen. Every single day I see it on my back office. One or two geniuses, they let the timer run out, and this little blue block turns to a red cross, and game over. Then what it does, it takes your offer to provide help, passes it to the next person in the line. You will get your money. That is for certain. And I'm going to show you in my case an actual PH that was done, where I provided help for 4,000 and I withdrew 2,000 Rand, and it came through the very next day. I'll show you the deposit slips in a minute. Okay? Cool stuff. You guys understand it?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. Peace of mind. Imagine me being able to show you that you can be able to make money before you've even made your payment. Would that give you security? Absolutely. So the day you make an offer to make payment, you will see your MAVRODs will say 1,000. And every Tuesday and every Thursday, so your money will start to grow. We're talking an average over here, I've got it up to 38 days. But anywhere from 38 to 60 days before you actually make that payment, you are already in profit. Then you make the payment, and let's say you offered 1,000, you make the payment today, your account balance shows 1,350 a month later, you can withdraw it immediately. Or you can leave it to continue to grow. Or you can put more money, it's up to you. Does that make sense? So for me, what got me excited is I saw it was growing, and why I was anxious to pay it is because then it becomes releasable. And now that it's releasable, now I don't want it to release it and stay there. Yeah. Cool stuff. Okay, so becoming a member. How much are the membership fees and what's the joining fee and so forth, right? Are you ready for this? Okay, so there is no joining fee, there is no monthly subscription. If you decided today, I want to make a little bit of money, put in 500 bucks for example, wait a month, come the end of the month at 650 Rand, draw all your money out, your account is still active, you're just not making any money. And then 5 years down the line, you put 5,000 Rand in, you wait 3 months, you draw all your money out, your account's still active. If you want to do it for a much longer period of time, you have that freedom of choice. There's no monthly membership fee, there's no joining fee at all. You can participate with as little as 100 Rand, up to 100,000 Rand a day if you like. So what makes it beautiful is they made the system affordable to anybody from any walk of life because it's that simple and that easy to understand. Does that make sense? 100%. Cool stuff. So let me show you some actual numbers to give you an idea. So we're gonna do a small exercise here, which, why did I switch my computer off? Okay, we're gonna do a small exercise to give you guys a bit of an idea of the potential of what Triple M is basically about. Okay. We have something called a happiness calculator, or calculator of happiness. Alright? Who could tell me something you possibly wanted to buy? I'm not talking about a Ferrari or a helicopter, I'm talking about something realistic. You went to the shop, you saw a pair of shoes, and at that moment in time you possibly couldn't afford to buy it because maybe the shoes was 1,000 Rand, you thought maybe the price was ridiculous. Who can tell me you had that experience? Hmm?
Yeah.
Yourself? Okay, what did you want to buy? Shoes. What did they cost? 1,300 bucks. If they could have changed that price, what would have been an acceptable price to pay? I mean, realistically. Because I know normally women, they don't care what the price is, they'll just buy it. But let's say, for example, the pair of shoes was, let's say, 800 Rand, would you afford them? If it was 500 bucks, would you afford it? Okay. So let's see, for example, we go into our happiness calculator, we make a decision what we want to do, and then we say, okay, how much money do I have now? Or how much money do I need? She needs 1,300 Rand to buy the shoes. But unfortunately, she's only prepared to pay 500 bucks for them. Or fortunately. What we're looking at here is how long does she have to wait for her shoes? Okay, 4 months, that's it. At a 500 Rand investment, you wait 4 months, she's got over 1,300 Rand. Make sense? Maybe you wanted to buy a new fridge. I don't know how much a fridge costs. But let's say it's 10,000 Rand. Maybe you've got 5,000 Rand. It would be a pretty good deal if you bought a fridge today, a 10,000 Rand fridge, for half the price, right? So we need 15,000, sorry, we said 10,000 Rand to buy this fridge. We only have 5,000 bucks. How long is it going to take me? 3 months. Okay, 3 months. Maybe some of you are here not to make a short-term investment or short-term plan. Your plan is more long-term. Okay? Maybe, for example, you're planning to go on holiday in December, or you want to make provision for Christmas presents for your families, grandkids, grandchildren, or whatever, and you need maybe 15 or 20,000 Rand at the end of the year, but you don't really want to save the money, because we know if I want 15,000 Rand at the end of the year, or let's say I want 12,000, that means I need to save 1,000 Rand each and every single month, right? 100%. Okay, so let's say for argument's sake, I want to go on holiday and make provision for my Christmas presents or whatever the case may be. And at the moment, I've got 3,000 Rand to spare, and I don't want to put any more money in. What does it mean? It means by Christmas, 12 months from today, you got 69,000 bucks from an initial startup money, making a donation of 3,000 Rand. Okay. What is there to think about, honestly? Let's say, for example, let's take another scenario. How much? I need 3,000 Rand, and I need this 3,000 Rand in 3 months. How much do I have to start with today? 1,365 Rand and 50 cents. You start with today, and you've got your 3,000 Rand in 3 months from today. This is why I joined AAA. Alright, so let me show you what a live account looks like. Am I even allowed to do that? Well, we'll soon find out.
I think so. Nobody said you can't.
They might tell me after the video, right?
Type it slowly, please.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see that? Alright, I'm going to scroll down a bit. You see that? Okay, so let me start by the beginning here. This is my personal account. So when I want money, I click on Get Help, and it allows me to draw whatever available balance I have in MAVRODI. So it takes my MAVRODs, if I've got 4,000 MAVRODs, I can draw 4,000 Rand right now today. It takes about 24 or 48 hours around there for the money to arrive from my account from various donations around the country. If I want to provide help, then I click on Provide Help. And then I put in the amount that I want to offer to provide help with. And I go into a queue, and 5-6 weeks from today I make that payment, but my MAVRODs start growing today. What you see over here, let me scroll down a little bit. If you take a look closely here, you can see on the 19th of September at the bottom ticket over here, I don't know if you guys go back and see this. On the 19th or 16th of September, I made an offer to provide help with 4,000 Rand. Over here, on the 13th of October, just short of a month after that, I requested a withdrawal of 2,000 Rand. That 2,000 Rand came to me in 4 payments from 4 different participants. Okay? Those of you who still don't know that, don't believe me, well, here's the proof of payment from that member. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that though clearly, but that's the Standard Bank deposit slip. Okay? Right. I decided to become a manager because, and look, I'm not making tons of money now, but I can assure you I'm definitely on the right track. So I'll give you an example. So we go to this button over here. Can you guys see where my mouse is on the screen? Where it says MAVRODs. It's going to become your favorite term. Alright, what you see in red over here is participants below me that have made an offer to provide help, and that is 10% of the value of the amount that they've offered to provide help with. Does that make sense? So, okay, I know the numbers look strange to me because they've been growing. Like, it can't be 79 Rand 70 cents. I mean, who would have made a PH like that? But it was 50 Rand at one stage. And so it's grown. I'm going to scroll down nice and slowly there to give you an idea on what's happening. Okay. let's see, when you explain what you just saw. Right at the bottom here, it shows my personal amount I started with was 4,000, am I right? I withdrew 2,000, right? I showed you that? But my balance is 3,364 from my initial amount I provided help with. This year, this 100 Rand was because I made a video and said I'm happy, thank you. And they paid me $100 for the 2,000 Rand that I drew. It's 5% of what I withdrew. As people make their PHs, as they pay the amount they promised to pay, so the commissionable amounts start to become available. Did you see some of those amounts of 2,000, 1,000, 1,500, and all of these amounts are growing every day by 30 days. So I've been a member for over a month now. I've put in 4,000 bucks. I've drawn out 2,000 bucks, and my account is currently 4,311 Rand in the positive. I'll provide help for 4,000 Rand once. Cool. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Short and sweet. If you have any questions, send them to somebody@gmail.com.